Hi there, I'm in the greenhouse today and I thought I would show you, it's the end of February, sort of mid 28th of, no, 24th of February, and I thought I would sow some more seeds. I've already started sowing a few seeds last week and I thought I'd sow a few, and I wanted to show you my quick and easy way of sowing seeds. And I particularly want this video for to go out to people who have not really grown seeds before, you know, who really fancy having a go at growing their own lettuce and their own tomatoes, and because you know, it's such a therapeutic thing to get outside and do this, you know. And or if you can't do it, you can, you know, try and sow some things in the house. You can start things off already in the house if you like. But anyway, so what I've done is I'll show you my quick easy way. I've got lots of these little pots, right? Now, in the days gone by, I used to sow them in seed trays and everything, and I thought, oh, I need long seed trays and everything. And I ended up with far too many seeds. So I sowed them into these little pots, each individual variety of what I have. And then I put them into this tray like this, look. See? Like that. So I'm just using some sort of basic compost that you can get, and it just says on it that's for all purpose, which includes seed sowing. I just literally put the compost into the pot and then just sprinkle it on like that, right? Okay. Now, if any big lumps in the compost come to the top, just take them out and just tap it a little bit to just get it to settle in the pot. Because you don't want any spaces in among the compost. And you do this, push the first lot down into the corners of the pot, so that when you put the pot into water it, when you're watering it from the bottom, you should do really. I don't always, I have to confess. But I'm not a perfect gardener, but I always get good results. So that, I just, you know, I'm always in a hurry to do everything. So you see, like that one, it's got that in it. Now, the trouble is with that is once you've got all your seeds coming up and you're wanting to divide them, the roots stick to lumps like this and they can be quite heavy, so you have to handle them extra carefully if you've got lumps like this attached to the roots. You have to move the root and all and pot it on, you see. So I usually just take it out, it makes it easier. So, and I fill this tray up with lots and lots of compost in pots, okay. And the last one, this is so much quicker and easier. I used to do it, you know, I used to go about it the long way around, but I've got so much to do, I've got so much reading and things to catch up on. Now then, so now I've filled that tray, look how much space saving it is. I filled that with 15 little pots, right? Now, then the thing to do to make sure it's nice and even, because at the moment that's not even, it's because I've just bumped it in. So I just use the base of another pot and just literally tamper it down gently, not hard, tamper it down so it's nice and level. Because what happens is, and I found, these are all my mistakes that I'm telling you that you can learn straight from me, and it's quick and easy. If you don't tamper it down and make a nice sort of straight surface for sowing the seeds, some of the seeds roll into all the gaps and the corners and they just get lost and they get too far down into the compost, and then when they germinate they lose energy trying to get to the top, to the sunshine, and they die in the pot, okay. And also some of your seeds can be a bit lower and deeper than other seeds, and so when they're germinating, I'll water it first, I'll show you this in a minute. What I do next is I get my watering can with a nozzle and I water on top. Now, sometimes I just stand all the pots in a big tray of water and let them soak it up. But today I want to get on with it. So, and it's a lot quicker to do it this way. So give them a really good water so that all of the compost is wet, not just the top surface, because that's no good, because it will very, very quickly dry out, okay? So make sure that it's watered all the way to the bottom. Now, this might, you know, this, I'm just telling you this because this is what works for me. This is how I do it, okay? Now, you can tell that it's a lot heavier because it's full of water, okay, the compost, but also the water should start dropping out of the bottom of the pots, okay? So you can tell you generally by the weight, and if you feel that some aren't a little bit light, just put a little bit more water on them, okay? But use a sprinkler head, because if you use something like this, you'll just disturb all the compost and make holes in the compost, and then seeds will fall into the holes, you see. So let's just give it a little bit more water, because it's a warm sunny day today. So right, so here's my husband. I'm just doing a video, darling.
Hello, folks. I'm interrupting you.
Yes, it's all right though. So I'm just explaining how I sow my seeds.
That's good.
Yeah. Is it cup of tea time?
Food time.
Food time. Oh, I'm too busy, love. I've got this to do now. I'll be about 10 minutes. Okay.
Right. Kaz is wrong.
Okay. Right. So what I do now, and then, but what I've done is I've selected all the packets of seeds that I want to sow, and I've just literally written a little tag with each pack of seeds, so it's all written out quickly, and I've got a nice little pile of seeds that I can just sow straight away. Okay, now make sure that they're all seeds that can be sown at this time of year, and in this environment it's quite warm, and I've got these what do we call them, setting them off in these oh, I can't remember what they are. Anyway, the my brain's gone dead. They're just to set them off, and you give them a little bit of each. A little propagator, that's it. I have some biggish propagators, and I have them on timers, and if it's going to be really warm overnight, I just switch the timer off, because I don't want them to get too hot. But so what I'll do is I'll put them in the propagator later on, and then they'll come on, the heat will come on tonight and warm them up, and they'll start to germinate, okay? And once they've germinated, you don't want them on the heat. You need to take them off the heat, but just keep them warm, but don't take them suddenly away. Just keep them warm with a lid on to keep them going. But if you leave them on the heat too long, you know, it only takes, once they get up, they'll start getting really long and leggy, you see. You don't want that. Anyway, what was I doing? Oh, I know, I took them off like a minute. Right, so here are some ball lettuces that I saved the seed. So that's another thing, and I put on it ball lettuces, okay? So just put a little few. Now, these seeds are not too small. They're, I don't know if you can see them. They're not too small, so they'll only need just a little bit of compost putting on top. But what I do is I put all the seeds on first, like that. I'm just going to do a few extra because I get a few going, and then I end up giving some lettuce plants to my sister and my nieces. Okay, so they can grow, because I really encourage everybody to grow your own lettuces if you can, because the ones in the shops, they've been sprayed with chlorophyll, you know, and stuff like that, unless you get them off the market or from an organic place. So that's that. So there you are, that's that one done. You put it over there out of the way. The next one is sweet peppers, capsicum sweet peppers. Now bear in mind, if you don't have a propagator or anything like that, you can start them off in the house on a warm window ledge, okay? Now, I'm going to put that on there. You can start them off on a warm window ledge, and these are quite big seeds, look. You know, when you're cutting your peppers up when you buy them from the shop, they're nice big seeds. So these need a, you know, a little bit more compost on top of them, but I'll show you anyway in a minute. But I'm going to sow, I've sown 11 seeds there. I might sow a few more because my sister might have some, my nieces. So, and anybody else that wants them if I've got them spare. So, there we are. So they're the capsicum peppers. Right, fold that up. And keep your packets of seeds, because they'll keep now till next year. I will try use them again next year. Now these, This is broccoli. These are tiny broccoli seeds. So I thought, right, I'm going to have a go at doing broccoli because I have a go doing it every year. I got a little bit of broccoli last year, but I just never harvested it, and I'm very lazy. I need to get better at harvesting, okay? I think it's still recording. But these are little tiny round seeds. Now, listen, don't do the mistake I did when I was younger. I used to just put all the seeds on the top. You don't need to. You just need to think, well, how many do I actually need? If you think, oh, I only need about 5 broccoli plants, don't just sow 5 broccoli seeds because they might not all take. So just sow a few. Because any that you don't want, if you get too many, if you don't want them, you can give them to neighbours or friends or family. Or do like I do, I give them to the chickens. You could put it on your compost heap as well. But my chickens get them, so they're like that. I like to grow a few greens to keep to feed to the chickens. Now, this is salad rocket, so that's going there. See how quick and easy it is. And actually, because I'm talking, I'm a bit slow now, but I'm just going to go like that now because you've seen basically they're nice little seeds. And that's going to be cut and come again. Mind you, I might let it get a little bit bigger and have it more like a salad leaf. Now these are salad bulb lettuces, and they get a bit bigger. Now these are an old packet of seeds, so I'm just going to be interested to see if they come up. Because if they don't come up, you know, I'm growing plenty of things, and I'll just resource some more. Because I'll know within a few days whether they're going to come up or not. So, but yeah, I just hope you're all right out there. You know, it's not a very nice time at the moment for people, but to be honest with you, I mean, I'm all right. I'm quite happy actually, because I'm not worried about anything. I'm not really bothered. I don't watch any news. Don't take any notice of any of the news at all. In fact, I'm supposed to be. You know, I've been contacted to have this pinprick, and I don't really want to have this pinprick, so I don't feel like having it. Certainly not at the moment, so I'm not going to have it. That's all there is to it. So this is a bit charred. I don't know how much is left, but I'm going to finish it off. I had a little bit left over. So yeah, so I'm not going to have that, but you know, I spend all my time in the garden, outside. You know, I don't hardly see anybody at all, which is sad. You know, don't see many people, but that's just the way it is. And I think it's really important for us all to get back to seeing each other, because that is, to me, that is absolute travesty, separating people and families. You know, I think it's disgusting actually. In fact, it makes me rather furious. You know, who the heck do people think they are, stopping us from seeing each other? Now these are moneymaker seeds, and I just managed to save myself a few from my seeds last year, because I do try and save them, you see. So these are all my moneymakers. There's not many, but I'm going to sow them all. Hopefully they'll all be all right. Okay, and that's that. What I've done on here, I put on my packets, look, these are from Children's. I get a lot of my seeds from Children's. I write on the date of when I last sowed them, you see, so it's really handy, because next year it reminds me, oh yeah, sow them in February, you know. And I know it's to usually, I mean, obviously I wouldn't have sowed them at the beginning of February when it was freezing cold, because there's no point, because you don't get much further ahead. These are brandywine seeds, right? Oh, hang on, what I'll show you. This is interesting. These are my brandywine seeds, okay? And I dried them on a bit of tissue. They're an old heirloom variety. I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12 seeds there. But what I did was, I'm going to save these few. I put them on a bit of tissue, look, and left them on my window ledge, and they dried out. And then I can pick them off and just sow them, or I could even sow them like that on the tissue, but what I'll do is pick them off, so. Right, so, One more, I'll do one more. These are plum tomatoes. These are my plum tomatoes, the Roma ones. There's some old seed, and I saved these again. I haven't got many of them, but I've saved them. So, do you know, this is what I find about growing your own things. It's so exciting. You know, so exciting getting your own things going. So that's that. Now, what I'll do now is I'll just get a little bit of, because everything's, you see, like these, this is broccoli, and they're only sort of smallish seeds, so they only want a little trickle. They just want covering, you know, not like they want about a little layer like that, you know, okay, and they'll come up all right. Just tap it on there, and then the bigger seeds, those seeds, look, I will give them a better covering. They'll have a little bit more, making sure there's no big lumps sitting over the top of them. Don't press it down, okay? Just tap it so that you're actually making the compost contact to the seed, okay? And these are lettuces, and they're not too. Just spread it about a bit and just cover them. So anything that's really tiny and fine, you know, if you're sowing seeds that are really fine, usually the very fine seeds, you just do like I did, water the compost, and then you sow the seeds on top. But they're so fine or so small that they don't need really covering over with anything. Just make sure they don't dry out, but don't wet them too much. But they don't need covering with anything, because they wouldn't be able to get to the light soon enough because they're so tiny. So you could literally put a little tiny bit of fine vermiculite on the top of them if you wanted, but I have sown them, you know, and just left them on the surface, and just made sure they've been in touch with the surface, obviously, and they come up, and then they send the root down. You see, they get a little sprout on them, and then they send the root down. So that's that. So there you go. Now, because I've watered the compost, they don't need watering again, okay? And so what I'll do with this tray now, when I finish, I'm going to do these others later, but I'll put the tray, I'll take these out the tray and put them into my big propagator. And my propagator, hang on, yeah, my propagator is literally like this little black one, but it has these lids. That's how big it is, okay? And I put the trays in these little pots in the propagator, and just leave them in there on the top in the greenhouse. If it gets really, really cold, I might even just either give them a bit more fleece over the top of my old things, because when we can have snow in April, can't we? And when I usually have a lot of little things growing then, and if it's turning cold, I just put fleece over them, okay? So there you go. There's my quick sowing tip. That's all you need to do. You don't need to sow all your seeds at once. Save some for next year. These are just a start. I mean, I'm going to be sowing loads of flowers and things, even more flowers and stuff. I'm not going to go mad this year because I want to focus on growing vegetables as well. But it is lovely to have flowers. I do have a lovely flower paddock, and I do enjoy doing that. But I think if we can all sort of get joy in things like stroking the cat and chatting to people on the phone and doing, you know, little Zoom calls and things, and just enjoy being out in the garden and watching the birds. Like I've said before, it's really important that you touch base with the earth, really. We really need to get back to nature. I'm going to be concentrating on growing more and more herbs this year, and drying more herbs, and trying to make myself well, even better from all the herbs. I was watching a video last night. It was talking about our digestive system, and I've always had a problem with my digestive system, and I suppose this is why I've fallen foul and I had cancer last year. Because if your digestive system doesn't work properly, then this is when you get ill. And I realise that the way to make yourself tip top is to keep yourself, this is what the video was saying, in an alkaline state. Your body can't get bugs if it's got an alkaline state. So I'm going to be concentrating even more on eating alkaline foods. You can find out about alkaline foods. And I drink vinegar, my own apple cider vinegar and lemon juice every morning in a pint of water. And I know it's citrusy and you think, oh, it's acidic, but it actually turns to alkaline in your stomach. So I just think of everything, if I make sure that I have alkaline in my drink at least, as well as all the vegetables, but as long as I have my lemon, I'm somewhere there. It's very hard. We've all been, you know, we've all got used to having all these processed things, and we've all got used to eating sugars and chocolate and stuff that we don't really need, and processed food is the last thing we should be eating. It's not good for us, and I really don't think anything to do with all the pharmacy tablets and things, none of them are really good for us, but it's finding a way of getting over the hurdle. But anyhow, so I just want everyone to have some peace and joy, listen to some really good music or something. Okay, bye for now anyway.